Okay, it's recording now. All right, so I guess we can go ahead and get into it. Hey, this is Phil Productions, host of the Conversation Podcast, and I have a special guest here with me tonight. So go ahead, introduce yourself. Who's Carmen I'm speaking to tonight?
Hi there, everyone. I'm Carmen. I am currently in my final year at the Savannah College of Design. My major is in story and concept development in animation. And I also love horror movies and painting and post-punk music. And I think that's a good intro.
Sweet, that's sweet. Now, before we get into it, I want to do a little icebreaker.
Mhm.
What are your top three, let's see, animation shows?
Animation shows. That's a good one. Um, I am the biggest fan of Invincible. Whenever the first season came out, I read through all three of the huge, super thick compendiums. So I'm very excited about everything. Conquest was so cool. The Invincible War was so cool. I that is something that I really make an effort to rewatch and to notice all the little details. And of course, I also love Smiling Friends. Who doesn't? In this, and it's very popular at SCAD. And then for a third, I mean, I love some Adventure Time, definitely. Um, that is definitely one that I grew up on, and really inspired me whenever it came to wanting to work in animation.
Adventure Time is a modern classic for me. I like it. I like this. Including regular show too.
Oh yeah, I love Regular Show as well. JG Quintel, the way he I believe he's also the writer on some of the episodes. He's so funny and everything is so relatable. In the one episode he got Donald Glover and Tyler the Creator to voice rappers. That one's one of my favorites.
I can agree. We can agree on that.
Mhm.
So, all right. Well, now that we're done with the icebreaker, let's get into the main theme. So, how I've done this before is that I have 20 questions, five
Mhm.
questions in each section. So that's four sections.
Mhm.
And some of these are really deep dive questions. So
Oh,
I hope you're ready.
I think I
I
might
just
be, yeah.
I want to pick your brain. So
Okay, yeah.
section one, the spark, origins and identity. Now, before SCAD, before the portfolio, who was Carmen? You.
Mhm.
And what part of that person still lives in your art today?
It's such a cool question. Before SCAD, I actually was going to a math and science boarding school. Um, yeah, I would go there 5 days a week, sleep in a dorm with two roommates, and then I would go back home on the weekends. And I really wasn't for me, but I figured that out eventually, of course. But my favorite part about that whole experience was the painting studio and getting to go there after classes and uh, staying there for hours was just really a highlight. Um, yeah, I think about Mr. Kicklighter a lot and keeping that traditional painting background and keeping art as a way to relax and putting in that sort of daily effort, even if it doesn't seem like a lot. That has stuck with me.
Yeah, so you were going to be a math and science nerd if you didn't transition into art or something.
Yeah.
But you kind of figured, I want to do something that makes me happy.
Hmm.
Math and science is cool and all, but is that what you really want to do? You know, I can see, so, but yeah, looking at you now, you are an artistic person. And I just kind of figure math and science really, isn't your thing. I mean, sure, you might need it later, but
Hmm.
just something that's going to make you happy down the road.
Hmm. And I do think that there is room for creativity in math and science fields, and I do think they relate in a lot of ways that people don't realize. I'm still a big fan of biology and animal sciences, but it's just you, yeah, it's not for everyone, definitely.
Yeah, math and science isn't for everyone. I know at some point I'm going to have to deal with something that does include math and science, but
Hmm.
right now I'm just doing what I can for now.
Hmm.
We'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
Hmm. Definitely.
So no, nothing to be too concerned about. It's just a thing.
Yeah.
So, number two, do you remember the first time you realized animation could move people, not just characters?
Let me look at my mind palace for a second. Um, Honestly, I don't know if this really counts as a definition of moved, but as someone who grew up on the early internet and especially things like lost episode creepypastas and sort of like those like weird dark like corners. Um, the Your Movie Sucks. He's this YouTuber. He caused this what's it called? Trend on YouTube where various YouTubers that I used to watch talked about their quote unquote like childhood trauma from various things. And that's how I learned about a lot of like classic creepy things to me, like the Pingu episode with the walrus, if you're familiar with that, or like
I'm
of
familiar.
course, yeah, of course more popular things like Courage the Cowardly Dog, like um just even like the butterfly scene in SpongeBob and realizing that like those gags even that are supposed to be unintentional or are supposed to entertain can actually scare someone and stay with them through adulthood. I think that is really the first time that I realized that animation can move people.
Yeah, and lately I've been watching a lot of shows, those even anime it now,
Hmm.
because lately, back when I was in high school, I was basically still I was just in it for the entertainment. But
Yeah.
now as us getting older, I'm starting to pay attention and understand the context. I'm starting to understand the context behind the episode I'm
Uh-huh.
watching. Okay, now I understand what this episode about. This guy's going through some trauma. He has to deal with a
Hmm.
situation that he made a mistake before. How can he fix it? Basically,
Hmm.
like so similar kind of situations. Like let's take for example, like I watched a new episode of My Hero Academia today, the final season.
Yeah, I heard
There
about
was
that.
something there was something that caught my attention that episode where All Might was not giving up. After All for One killed Stain, because he did kill Stain,
Hmm.
All Might was still trying to fight because he didn't want to give up just yet. I know he's supposed to be retired, but he's about that life. So
Yeah.
he was in that situation, and here's something that caught my attention. Hercules, his AI robotic partner who gave him to be All Might in season 7.
Yeah.
Basically, he was the even everybody he was like it was illusions, the computer AI and all that stuff. They was telling him to live.
Hmm.
So basically, they
Hmm.
didn't tell him like his destiny was not to be killed, but he just wants him to live
Yeah.
because he likes being there for others. And then you get to the scene where he's about to be killed by All for One, but Deku can't do
Hmm.
anything because he's still occupied with Shigaraki.
Yeah.
So he thought he left that crying weeping wimp back in the day, but now he's
Yeah.
about to lose his mentor.
Hmm.
So it's like, hey, what are we gonna do? So then
Hmm.
Bakugo pops up, and then All Might's starting to understand like his time is over, but end of the
Yeah.
end of the era, and then it says
Yeah.
and dash. That was it from the preview, but at the end of the episode, it says end of an era and the
Hmm.
beginning.
And the beginning. Huh. Yeah, that is that. Yeah, I mean, all of those story beats really make you feel like, oh no, and then like, yeah, like it's incredible how of course with anime especially, you really feel these like intense character moments, and especially whenever a show is allowed to go on for a while, you really get attached to the characters and you really want to see them succeed. So so that's great.
Yeah, Carmen. And the more you watch it, the more you see that there's actually real life situations. Like when I
Hmm.
watched this episode, I was like, some people can't do this forever. So
Yeah.
it's up to them, like their mentors, to teach the next generation how to do things. That's why they said in the episode End of an Era in the beginning, like All Might was passing the torch to
Hmm.
his to his pupils. You know,
Hmm.
Izuku, Midoriya, and Katsuki Bago, he was giving the torch to them because it was time for them to continue what he started.
Hmm.
So
Yeah,
basically, there was a life lesson in there.
that's nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
it
And I
seems to
think,
teach evolution.
yeah, and I know what you, Carmen. The more that you pay attention to the animation, the more you can understand the context of like
Ugh.
how. Because I know you plan. If you, I don't know what you're going to do after when you get animation, your
Mhm.
animation degree and stuff. But I know that whatever you do, I know you're going to tell your own story and added some context into it.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And I think having that level of like personal experience to your stories is especially powerful. Um, I'm really trying to think here. I wonder, I don't know too much about the original author of My Hero Academia, but I would love to know a little bit more about like his writing process and his designs of the characters. And I wonder if there's a little bit of him in all of the characters, you know?
The probably is, to be honest, I never had a chance to actually meet any of the authors who wrote all these Shonen Jump series, all these comic
Hmm.
book series. Maybe, I think the more we go to conventions, maybe we can ask them some questions if they got a few minutes. Like I know myself, when I go
Yeah.
to one of these conventions this Christmas, Anime Week in Atlanta, I was
Hmm.
gonna try to, at least, if I can just spare at least 5 to 10 minutes with the voice actors and just talk to them if
Hmm.
I can. If I I know that if I ask nicely, they might be able to speak me for a few minutes. Like,
Yeah.
listen, if I gotta pay a certain amount of money just to talk to you, I would do that. But
Hmm. Very true.
but yeah, if I can just spare just a few minutes talking to them, I understand what's going on.
Hmm.
Maybe they can make it happen.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, I'm a big fan of voice actors and getting their perspective on the shows that they've been on, or just the projects they've worked on. Because in my experience, like acting as those characters, even though you might not know, the ideation behind them, or you might not, write the words that you're speaking, you still sort of like get them in an odd way because you are like acting as them. And it is interesting to sort of get that individualized perspective from a voice actor about like how playing this character made them feel.
Yeah, because sometimes, they all put their like own personal experiences into these
Hmm.
characters. Like basically they have to decide for themselves, okay, how can I channel my personality into this person I'm playing?
Yeah.
It's kind of like you have to brainstorm exactly who you're voicing. Now it
Hmm.
may take some time. It may take some time, but at least you're having the chance to understand what they've been through and how you can do it.
Hmm.
So,
Definitely. Yeah.
um, number three, how has growing up and finding your own voice shaped the way you animate or design worlds?
What is it? I'm sorry, I have to stop saying that's a good question for everyone. But I really like that. How did your own personal experience? Um, I feel like specifically where I grew up in, a lot of people who are more what am I trying to say? Who find I'll get there for a second. Sort of experimenting with a lot of different things and knowing that something truly isn't for you, like what I experienced at boarding school and with math and science and stuff like that. I feel like having that complete view of myself has really allowed me to see into the minds of characters that I might create, and definitely base a lot of relationships, like platonic or whatever it be, based on things that I've known and experienced. And mostly I look at ideation as just a way to really like research. And I love doing things like that. I love going down rabbit holes Like I was researching for a scuba diving character and getting to know like specifics about all of these like pressure sickness and all of these events. And mostly almost really getting academic about that sort of thing is very fascinating to me. I hope that answers your question.
Oh yeah, oh, it definitely does. It definitely does. I know you had I know sometimes, when people be like, "Oh, how do I find my own voice?" I know
Hmm.
you had to go through like personal challenges. You had to go into unknown territory and
Hmm.
understand, okay, this is new for me. How do I don't know, how do I get through this? Do I just like do it one day at a time? Do I have to research for days? Like,
Hmm.
how do you do it?
Yeah.
You know?
I really love that proverb. The way to eat an elephant is just simply one bite at a time. Um, I find that these like huge Herculean tasks that you can never imagine yourself actually doing, as long as you take them in manageable chunks, it is never as hard as you think it will be. And a lot of the time, I feel like I struggle with feeling like I'm late to a lot of things. Um, Specifically, I feel like I've sometimes I even get a little bit envious of other students because I hear like they had animation classes whenever they were in high school or middle school, which I personally just didn't have access to. But not really feeling that judgment for other people really allows you to feel better about yourself and starting where you are currently and working on it is a lot more beneficial than regretting what you did in the past, I think.
Yeah, and listen, I be telling people this, great things take time. All good things
Hmm.
to those who wait. I think you're in a good position. I know you just want to figure out this whole thing, what you got next plan, and you know that, you know,
Yeah.
it's not going to be perfect overnight. I mean, you got to slow down.
Hmm.
It's just, no matter what you do, everything takes time. Like, like what I'm
Hmm.
doing here, this is going to take time.
Hmm.
Speaking from you guys, understand y'all experiences,
Hmm.
try to like play it out. Just,
Yeah.
it's basically, like I said, one piece at a time, one day at a time. Everything's going to be fine.
Very true. Yeah. Very true. Keeping it just putting in that daily effort, I think, counts for a lot.
It does. All right. Number four, SCAD attracts dreamers from everywhere. And yes, everywhere. What personal story or struggle did you bring with you when you first arrived?
I definitely have a story. Senior year of high school, I was very into showing up to school in white face paint, really dramatic, like long eyelashes and like platform boots every single day. Um, and the principal I had at the time, she really wasn't a fan of it. I vividly remember this is a story inside a story, but around halfway through the year, these boys were barking at me in the hallway, like barking like a dog. And I ended up reporting them, and nothing came of it. And a couple of weeks later, the principal came up to me, and she was like, "Oh, we figured out who the guys were that barked at you, but at the end of the day, you're the one that chooses to dress like that, so there's nothing really we can do about that." Um, so that was the start of it, and then finally, whenever I was graduating, as in like physically walking off the stage, um, I decided that I was gonna wear the white face paint. And in doing that, she actually stopped me before I was even able to like sit down, before she even like started the whole like graduation speech or whatever. Um, Brought me to the bathroom and told me that I had to wash my white face paint off. So I brought a just in case makeup wipe. So I ended up little by little taking the makeup off with a makeup wipe, and I ended up with like my eye makeup was still on, I had the lipstick still on, and like a white nose bridge. And I was like, "Hey, is this good enough? Like, is this like not dramatic enough or whatever?" And yeah, she let me walk with half a face of white face paint on, which I guess is better than a full white face. Still haven't figured that out. But having that sort of really bad experience with authority right before I came to college was definitely interesting. I definitely had some like anxiety with my professors that I really shouldn't have, simply because I had to deal with a principal that was really mean, like a bully.
Wow. I'm sorry you had to go through that.
Oh, it's
You know,
fine.
you know that.
It's kind of funny
You
in
know, like
retrospect.
it's like saying like, oh, I can't do this kind of because I'm not like very spectacular or something. Like listen, when I was at school, we had to wear uniforms, no questions asked. Like,
Hmm.
I'm not used to it because I'm not doing anything special. But I just, I don't care what you do as long as you're happy. Like it's
Yeah.
listen, Carmen, the way you paint your face white is part of who you are. If it's
Yeah.
who you are, I'm not gonna mess with that.
Yeah.
Like people need to respect how people do. Just like it's like, oh, you can't dress. I want you to dress up this way. You can't wear
Hmm.
this face and all that stuff. It's basically like, hey, basically, I can't. Like, I'm unique. The other people are doing what they're doing. Why can't I do the same thing? Basically,
Yeah.
like, how come they get special treatments but I don't?
Yeah. I definitely understand that. I don't think, yeah, the way someone looks is really none of my business personally, like people with intentional or like things that people are born with. I don't really think it's anyone's place to judge what someone else does, you know?
I heard something that happened. I have a friend who I interviewed a few months back. Her name is
Uh-huh.
Allie Woods. Sometimes she goes by Allison Woods, but it's really Allie Woods. She has blue hair. When she was
Uh-huh.
in high school, I think the principal told her to wash her hair before graduation to get that
Hmm.
blue hair off of her. But I was like, that's why would you do that? That's
Why
who
would
she
you do
is.
that? Yeah, I totally
Yeah.
agree. Um, yeah, and I remember I ended up posting that whole story to social media, and mostly people were on my side, but there was a few people who were like, like whenever you get done with the phase that you're going through right now, you're gonna regret looking like that in like your senior portraits or whatever. But um, I'm a senior in college right now, and I I don't care. I don't I don't think it's that, big of a deal.
I was gonna say, like, hey, you haven't had any experiences on SCAD selling people with your white face or anything, have you? You haven't had any experiences?
No
Nope.
bad experiences, no.
Okay, so I'm just making sure because I know like SCAD is supposed to be like diverse and inclusive no matter what you do. But like
Yeah.
SCAD, like the whole purpose of Savannah College of Art and Design is to be creative. So
Yeah, of
people
course.
have creative stuff. They got like, like me, like I got, pop culture shirts on. You got
Hmm.
like face, colored hair. Some people have green, pink hair, blue hair.
Yeah,
You have red hair, white face. The whole purpose of that college is to be creative no matter what you do.
I
Even
agree,
be
definitely.
creative, even be creative in your own appearance.
Hmm.
Like I don't care if you dressed up as I don't know. I don't care if you dressed up as, you know, Ariel from the Little Mermaid or something
Yeah.
as long as it makes you happy,
Hmm.
or dress up as Harley Quinn.
Yeah, very true. Yeah.
So
I think more people should take advantage of the fact that they're like, the way they present themselves, they can show off their interests, show off like, it's just so much fun. I wish more people did it. And I'm very grateful for SCAD for having, a lot of creative people visually.
yeah, because we all wear certain stuff that expresses who I. As you can see, I'm wearing my Superman shirt
Hmm.
because you see my posters in the back because I'm into all
Hmm.
this stuff. I'm going to make some changes here. I'm probably going to add some pop figures over there. I'm trying to like I don't
Nice.
have a lot of room. Listen, I have like a lot of pop figures around. I got
Yeah.
more coming. I got the
Hmm.
Arkham City pop figure coming. Batman
Nice.
Arkham series because because I'm a huge Batman person. And here's the
Mhm.
thing: I have the Arkham Asylum Batman, the one with the background and everything with the big case.
Yeah.
I have the Arkham Knight pop figure. I have the Arkham Knight Batmobile from Jada Toys from Amazon. That's on my room.
Yeah.
And yesterday, got this.
Yeah.
So I think you saw in my story. I'm a huge Batman person.
hmm Yeah.
So
It's
hey,
that is awesome.
yeah,
Are
I
you
don't know if you
excited
play.
to play?
Yes, I'm excited to play because thing is, I wanted to see what the Arkham trilogy is like on the Nintendo Switch 2, which your
hmm
guy has right here. So,
Nice.
so
Nice.
can you blame me if I like this stuff? Yeah,
No.
people be calling me like just being a nerd and geek for time. I'll say that's okay as long as I
Mm,
like what I like.
of course, yeah. It's so much more freeing to like what you like than to worry about what other people think is like socially acceptable or
E-
whatever.
e- Exactly. I think I might start playing this later in October because thing is I
hmm
want to start as soon as I get the Arkham City pop figure. So
Yeah. Yeah.
this is good. This is gonna be on my to-do list for
hmm
late October next month. But
hmm
the best part is I didn't even buy this digitally because I've been trying to get back to buying more digital copies, like be
hmm
like a collection. Because one time, if you know Kyle Heber who voices Gohan, he was
Yeah.
saying, what sucks about streaming services? Well, some of your
hmm
favorite cartoons don't stay on there for long. But if you're a
No,
collector,
no.
but if you're a collector like me, you won't have to
Yeah.
worry about that.
Yeah.
Sure, it may take up more space, but you'll always be close to the favorite stuff that you like. So he
Yeah.
was showing,
That's
he was
very
showing,
true.
he was showing the Looney Tunes classic collection. He was actually watching Looney Tunes while he was doing this little video.
That's nice.
So so for me, like I know I didn't purchase the Arkham collection digitally because I didn't know what was going to happen. So got the physical copy.
hmm That is
So
good. That's a good idea.
can't wait to play this game. But
hmm
oh yeah, I'm going off topic. But well,
No,
it's
it's good. Don't worry.
so, but yeah, Carmen, don't let anyone stop you. If you want to dress up, if you want to use white face for a lifetime, hell, go and do it.
hmm
Don't
I'll probably be an old lady, rocking the
so,
white face paint.
fine. If you want to dress up, it's okay.
hmm
Don't let nobody stop you. Keep doing that stuff. Like if you want to
hmm
dress up as Harley Quinn or something, look like a Harley Quinn kind of person, do that.
hmm
All right.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Definitely
last
will.
question. This section will be on to section 2. Sorry,
No.
when
Oh,
something
no
like this
problem.
comes up, I start venting and I start getting excited.
No, like it's good. It's good that you're, passionate about this.
So, if someone looked at your work with no context, and I mean no context, what truths about you do you hope they'd feel without words?
Huh. I hope that they see I have an eye for detail, definitely. I try, especially with my bigger pieces, to really fit in a lot of different references. And I love, even though I know, especially on things like Instagram, no one ever really zooms in or anything like that. I love hiding in those little Easter eggs. Um, yeah, my attention to detail. I want. Hmm. That's a good question. I think that is the primary answer. Yeah. I don't know if from my art pieces if people could guess that I'm like particularly, you know, of this style or whatever, but I do want them to know about, the effort I put in.
You know what's interesting about you, Carmen? You're the same person who likes to hide very good, interesting Easter eggs and lets people let Easter eggs who want and people just go search for them. Like I think it's
Mhm,
much better for artists these days to try to show them the picture and you guys figure out what it means. Like,
very true.
I don't want to spoil the surprise. I want
Mhm,
y'all to figure out for yourselves and be
mhm.
like, oh shoot, I didn't know that meant this. I was
Yeah.
like, I'm glad you didn't tell me. That way I can figure out
Mhm,
for myself. But yeah, I think more artists and people, are doing those sorts of things, those Easter egg
mhm.
portraits that people have
Mhm.
to figure out for themselves. So I
Yeah.
think that's a good way to just, put their exercise their brain a little bit.
Definitely. And it's also I love stories hearing about whenever certain people interview certain artists and they say like, "Oh, by this choice, did you mean this?" And the person is like, "No, I didn't mean that at all." And there's I actually have this saved like on my wall because I think it's so important. A It's a really crispy printed out thing of The Death of the Author by Roland Barnes. It's this really important passage, to me at least, about how once a piece of art or a text is put into the public, um, the the author's original intention is kind of null and void in a way. And really allowing for art to be interpreted in a variety of different ways and for people to sort of make their own meaning out of that. I think that that's very cool.
That's why, hey, reading is fundamental. I'm telling you, it's like sometimes when I be reading like those kind of stories, like, William Shakespeare or anything, they
Mhm,
have all kinds of context clues that you have to go look for. Like, I'm not giving you everything for free. Like, here's the thing.
mhm,
Every time when I be helping someone, they want to ask me a question. This is mostly like at my other job that I work out with Kumon. I do work with students.
yeah.
I'd be telling them, like, did you read first? Did you go look first? And I'd be like, I don't give up the goods for free.
No, not for free.
I don't want to spoil. I want you to figure it out for yourselves.
Yeah.
Like, what if you get into like what if you come across the problem and you have to figure out the context clues? Not like a life or death
Mhm.
situation, just something very simple, like a
I'm sorry, I'll
puzzle.
be right back.
Oh, sure.
Sorry about that. I'm back.
You're good. You had to take care of something right quick.
Yeah, it's taken care of now.
Okay. But do you get what I'm saying with the whole
Mhm.
like context clues and everything? Okay. Just
Very
just
much,
make
yeah.
make sure. Just
Yeah.
make sure.
I
'Cause, yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I totally understood what you were saying. And everyone coming to their own conclusions independently, I think is very important.
It's 100% important.
Hmm.
All right. All right. We're in section 2 now. So the process, discipline meets emotion.
Hmm.
Now, walk me through your creative chaos. When a new idea hits, how do you capture it before it slips away?
That is fun. I feel I keep on wanting to like show off things, which I don't whenever I don't think I need to. But
If you have to, you can. Nobody's
yeah,
stopping you.
good. A big part of my creative process is keeping multiple different sketchbooks. Specifically, this one I've been trying to focus on not erasing and also like this is I sort of call it like a garbage sketchbook. It's really more about like getting anything down, even if it's like messy or it doesn't look very like visually impressive. And in doing that, you sort of I sort of get rid of this what's the word I'm looking for? This pressure I have for an idea or a sequence in a larger thing to be perfect. And sort of getting down that really messy first idea and then allowing yourself to look up references at a later date or polish it digitally, I think really allows for you to get more done.
Hey, listen, I like those sketchbooks that you and doodling. Like, you want to have like those sort of notes. Listen.
Mhm.
It's basically like, let's say for example, I saw this TV show. I'm trying to remember what it was. I think it was like Avengers or something. It
Uh-huh.
was like he was saying, like, I think it was in season 4 when they had to deal with the Beyonder in Battle World.
Uh-huh.
He was saying to Tony Stark, "Do you ever just work around your lab, just wait for something amazing to happen?" Something like that. And I think
Yeah.
that's the same thing with you, Carmen. You want to make sure like something spectacular happens. So you have all these ideas you're just ready to have in your notes. You'll be ready for what you're getting ready to do next.
Definitely, yeah.
So
Allowing for a lot of different things to sort of be blossoming at the same time is a big deal for me, I think.
I can tell because listen from what I've been taught going around looking at the SCAD student, every SCAD student they have all these ideas that come in their head,
Hmm.
and it's like they just sit around and try to brainstorm, and be like, what's about to happen? Like, do I expect
Hmm.
something amazing to happen to come out of my head, and it just starts going? Like I
Hmm.
said, basically working in the lab, you want something, you just hope for something to happen.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And it's also, I think, maybe even like putting down things or putting in like the creative work, even whenever you're not feeling particularly inspired, I think is very important. Um, Simply because like I find once I really get into like a groove of doing something, that's whenever a lot of good ideas come. That's whenever I get a really cool idea for like a storyboard, or that's whenever I find like the silhouette of a character that I find really interesting.
Carmen, keep doing it. I like it. Keep doing it.
Thank you.
Next one. What's a moment where the art fought back? Like the art really fought back. A
Mhm.
project that forced you to grow, whether you were ready or not.
My freshman year, I took my first story and concept animation class. And it was my very, very first time storyboarding ever. I had done like comics and my sketchbook before, but I had never, sat at a computer and tried to draw down a complete and total story. And specifically too, I did all of these sort of I did all of these storyboards and then I didn't save correctly. I did all of this work, but I didn't quite understand how the saving process on the school computers worked quite yet. So I think it was something like 50 storyboards were completely gone. Um, and the project was due like after that weekend, and I figured that out on like a Thursday night, I believe. Um, and I was ready to give up. There was that small, devil on your shoulder. But I powered through, and especially even though I didn't think that they were sort of to the quality that I wanted them to be, I still showed them in class and had that sort of final presentation. And I think being sure of yourself and putting in that hard work, even if you're not entirely, proud of the result, I think that was a good lesson for me to learn.
Hey, live and learn. Sometimes,
Yeah.
listen, when you start off, you're going to have a very tough challenge on your hands. Trust me,
Hmm.
I learned that the hard way when I was in college, throughout my years in school. You're going to have like an end of the year challenge, and it's going to
Yeah.
just pop up, and you just don't realize it.
Yeah. Without fail. Like you think like, oh, maybe this is like a pretty relaxing quarter. It
Mm,
sneaks
mm,
up on
mm.
you.
It does. That's why I be telling y'all got to stay focused now, because
Hmm.
sometimes it's basically like like when we get to like end of a horde or something, and it's like there's the boss level, and it's like
Hmm.
they're not fucking around anymore, are they?
Yeah.
So, but I think you've done what you had to do. You made sure to be ready. Didn't take any chances. Don't take any
Hmm.
chances, Carmen. Okay,
Yeah.
don't do
Definitely
that.
not. Definitely
It will
not.
it will
Know
not
your
end well.
technology too. Yeah.
It will not end well for you. Don't do it.
Hmm.
No,
Hmm.
listen. Do the research. Put down some notes.
Hmm.
That listen. Ever since I've been doing this stuff, going to like very amazing places, I do my research on the place before I go there. Listen, before
Good
I even
idea.
go to
Yeah.
anime, even before I go to Anime Week in Atlanta, I
Hmm.
even put up the schematics and the building on this place.
Oh yeah, you got deep into the planning.
Well, I want to do some digging, some deep digging, make sure I have
Hmm.
everything I need before I go in there, because there's like a lot of floors. There's like 12 floors.
Hmm.
So I had to break it down, because last time when I went there for another convention, I was in my amateur hour. But
Yeah.
me now, I learned my lesson and know what I
Hmm.
have to do. Now I'm doing research on a place. I'm breaking down the building, what to expect, the do's and don'ts.
Hmm.
And guess what? More people have been respecting my work. I've been getting DMs
Yeah.
saying, "You did all this research by yourself and broke
Yeah.
this down." Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah. Good on you.
I'm telling you, people be underestimating what I do now.
Yeah.
So, and guess what? One of the previous interviews, she's a cosplayer. She said,
Hmm.
"I'm going to have to take a picture out of your. I'm going to have to take a page out of your book and do research."
Hmm.
She wanted to see. She wanted to take a page and make sure she understood because pretty much she's going to all these conventions now and be like, "Hey, I got all the research done. I want to make sure I know exactly what I'm doing." So yeah, she said, "Come to yeah, please come
Yeah.
take a page
Good
out of my book."
idea. Yeah. Good idea. Especially with conventions. I mean, I've I get lost in them so easily. And
Yeah.
sometimes you like these, you know, guests that you really care about, you're not really sure where to find them and things like that. So really making sure you're like squeezing the experience for all it's worth is a great idea.
Speaking of guests, I also did my research on all of the guests, the VAs that are going to be there, because I
Hmm.
want to, because like I said, I do want to talk to them for at least a few minutes, if it's possible. But because
Hmm.
I want to pick their brains and learn more about, because there are a few people like Mexicans, Vietnamese actors, and I just want to pick their
Hmm.
brains and understand their story. So I make sure I research them and I put the questions for them in my notes, so I have them
Yeah.
ready.
Yeah.
Because
Good idea.
they're not going to wait around for you to ask questions. Not going to wait around for you to come up with a question or stuff.
Hmm.
Like
Yeah, you have to be quick.
I have so much gear on me. I got my GoPro camera with these microphones and
Uh-huh.
everything. So pretty much I'm all checked up because I'm all prepared.
Yeah, it's good.
I
It's good to be
catch much.
prepared.
So many people kept coming to me and saying, "Is that a GoPro camera?" Yeah, I got it back in March. I was missing a few items and I needed them.
Hmm.
So, because here's the thing, Carmen. When after Animation, which was in Savannah earlier this year, is coming
Yeah.
back in the next 3 months.
Hmm.
So I was like, okay, what am I missing here? There's something that I'm missing. I just didn't know what it was until I started doing the research. So I
Hmm.
looked and I was like, huh, people are using this thing called a GoPro camera. And I looked what it was. I was like, oh, so that's what it
Yeah.
is. You get to
Yeah.
strap it on and you start hit record. So basically, it's like a body cam.
Yeah.
So
I've had a similar experience with pencil extenders. I love figuring out about all these different like art trinkets simply because I love being able to use art supplies for all their worth. And one time I saw someone with like this thing and being able to use an entire pencil is so much fun to me. Like this is where the actual pencil is, but in order for me to be able to handle it better, you can buy pencil extenders online.
that's sweet. Also, going back to you, I want to ask, like, you've been writing storyboards. Don't you ever thought of selling your art or something? I mean, don't you ever thought of selling? I don't know. I mean, I'm
Hmm.
just pointing out because I was like, has she ever considered maybe selling some of the work she's done at a convention or something? I don't
Hmm.
know. Have you thought of that?
I have. I am definitely interested in getting into that sort of world because it is a great place for people to sell prints or stickers and stuff like that. But I want to make sure I do my research in getting the highest quality prints, and I want to make sure that the things that I'm selling are things that I'm proud about. And yeah, there's definitely certain pieces that I've done where I've been like, it would be nice for someone to maybe like hang this up on their wall as a poster.
Yes, yes. Listen, like I said, and you're taking a page out of my book. Research. Do the research first. Do that
Mm-hmm.
first. Because thing is, when I went to the convention center, which is across the bridge, there have been a lot of SCAD students going to these conventions.
Mm-hmm.
I've been paying attention. I was like, yep, most of these guys, these artist alley places, they're from SCAD. They've done all
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so I think you'll be good doing that kind of stuff if you want to, Carmen. I don't want
Yeah,
to,
I do.
like,
Yeah.
don't force yourself to do stuff that you don't want to do. If you
Mm-hmm.
want to, it's totally up to you.
Yeah, I
But
think, yeah, in the coming years, I really, really hope to get into that world more.
so, but I can tell by the excitement in your face you want to do it.
Hmm.
So I'm looking forward to it. Can't wait to see what you
Yeah,
do.
Yeah,
Um,
I'll keep you posted.
so, what's let's see. Wait, I just asked that question. Excuse me.
Oh
Animation
gosh.
is patience in motion. How do you keep your passion alive through the slow frame by frame grind?
Good background noise. I love some good background noise. I feel like I'm very proud of my music taste, which is so lame, but I love being able to go on like Airbuds, which is this music site, and seeing like, oh, you're the only listener of this artist or whatever. Having that sort of like very curated sort of background music to my life, I guess, is very nice to me. And sometimes with specific songs, you really have that sort of daydream to them. And having that daydream while I'm doing maybe like repetitive tasks is very nice. I also love audiobooks. I'm a big fan of audiobooks. I've been going through some Victorian novels while I work.
I have some background noise. Listen, sometimes when I be folding up clothes, I just turn the TV
Hmm.
on and put something on. Sometimes I put
Yeah,
on
you
music,
gotta.
movies. Sometimes I watch anime, Hulu, whatever I can
Hmm.
find, and
Hmm.
just go
Yeah.
from there. But yes, definitely background noise does help. Sometimes you'll listen to some music that'll just help
Hmm.
you get through like the slow because this stuff doesn't happen quickly. So you gotta
Yeah,
have something to keep you
definitely.
occupied while you're doing it.
Definitely.
And I know it's not easy, but I think you guys as SCAD students, I think y'all understand that
Yeah.
this isn't going to be perfect overnight.
No, definitely not. And yeah, putting in that consistent work and being like very persistent with what you're doing is very important. Um, and just going back, like editing again and again and again is important. Yeah.
Yeah, and listen, Carmen. I know it's like take it like this. It's like you're trying to paint a picture, like sculpture everything, make sure everything's
Hmm.
perfect. Slowly, if you do it too quick, it's all. One thing I will say this, and people don't understand these days, it's all about the quality, not
Yeah.
quantity.
Yeah. Very much. Yeah.
'Cause I'll give you an example. When Kevin Feige was releasing all those Marvel movies, these Marvel movies right here, and I
Hmm.
was like, Ant-Man and the Wasp did not do so good. Neither did the Marvels. Guardians of the
Hmm.
Galaxy Volume 3 was like the only one that did good.
Yeah, that
Right
was
here.
that was like a dark period
Yeah,
of the
Guardians of the
Marvelverse.
Galaxy Volume 3 is like the only one that did good in that
Hmm.
cinematic universe. But yeah, I because the reason why it flopped because y'all releasing so many Marvel movies like in 1 year, and I'm like,
Hmm.
hey, B, like take your time. We're not going anywhere.
Very true, yeah. And another reason why I'm not really a fan of a lot of those movies from that Marvel era is they really rushed their special effects artists. Gave them these like really tight deadlines, and that's why the special effects aren't as good as a lot of their other projects. And I think especially with huge movies like that, with these like huge crews, you really have to give your care to everyone in the crew, especially ones that really, sell the believability of the whole thing.
Yeah. It's like I said, doing these things like films, video games, TV shows, animation, Carmen, it's an art. It's
Hmm.
like you don't want to rush the art and then it's not going to be good for everybody to look at.
Definitely. Yeah.
So, but I think you already got that part down.
Hmm. Thank you. Yeah. I think that, yeah, not rushing, taking your time with things. I see a lot of people trying to get entire projects done using all-nighters, and I do understand where they're coming from, but like I said, I think that like consistent daily work is a lot better in the long run and a lot better for your creative process.
Yes. Yes, it is. Carmen, you're doing great so far. Just take your time. And like I said, great things take time. So
Hmm.
never give up.
Yeah. Well, thanks. Yeah.
Um Number 9, when your inner critic gets loud. talking about your inner critic, your own self.
Mhm.
What do you tell yourself to silence it and keep creating anyway?
Mhm. Yeah. We kind of I kind of talked about this before with the whole like, oh, I feel like I'm behind or whatever. I feel like I'm behind a lot of my peers who were able to get this sort of like animation experience before me. Um, and whenever I sort of feel those feelings, I remind myself that this is I'm not, that person 5 years ago who wasn't given access to those resources. I'm this person now, and I need to work with what I have. And it's important to sort of see yourself as a work in progress, I guess is the word for it. And not everything you make is going to be like exactly what you envisioned it to be. Um, and it's just sort of nice too to not judge people, because as soon as you sort of stop noticing these like supposed flaws in other people's artworks, you sort of feel your high expectations for yourself, maybe slowing down a little bit and being less harsh. And of course, it's important to analyze and review and see what you're doing and see places where you can improve. But sort of appreciating the effort that you've gone through already is also very important.
And listen, you're gonna make mistakes. That's inevitable.
Hmm.
Don't like, because I talked to another artist. Her name is Kesha Ray. She's actually at New York Comic Con right now, but I
Oh
interviewed
yeah,
her
nice.
before she went there. She was saying like, "Mom, it's not good enough. I gotta do this or something." But that's that. Basically, that was like her inner self trying to get inside her head, saying I
Hmm.
could have done better. But I know with you just don't pay attention to that other self of yours. You just get it done. And I know
Hmm.
I know it gets a little overwhelming and devastating and challenging at first, but I think once you just start doing it,
Hmm.
it's really that simple.
Yeah, that's very true. Uh, I like that one tweet that's someone talking about no one talks about how distressing Halloween costumes are for the ADHD community. And then someone I'm getting there, I promise. Someone replied and said, you people can't do anything. And something about that has really, really resonated with me. Like the idea of you people can't do anything is just like, you know what? Yeah, maybe it's not that hard.
That's crazy.
Uh-huh.
Like that's just noise. Listen, purists are gonna have an issue. Every time I be watching all these reviews on iTunes, people are saying like when there was Batman Hush back in 2019, I actually enjoyed the movie. It was really good, you
Hmm.
know. But I was like, but people was like, if it's not broken, don't fix it. Is it a perfect movie? No. Does
Hmm.
it have a few issues? Sure. But overall,
Yeah.
the animation, the storytelling was okay. So yeah, if it's not
Hmm.
broken, don't fix it.
Yeah. Very true. Yeah. A lot of it's really easy to sort of point out the flaws and things, especially if you go in with this already sort of negative view of it. Um, and especially online, and especially with a lot of these reviewers, I think they want to have the next big like, oh, this is horrible, this is like a new low or whatever, just to sort of like get more clicks even. And sort of realizing that a lot of more things fall in like the middle, is important.
Yeah. And I think that's a lesson for everybody. I needs to understand, like, hey, if when when a finished product comes out, if somebody does this, all right, like take a second and actually look at it first
Hmm.
before you start preaching about how bad it is,
Hmm.
because
Very true.
that's what they usually do. And it's like like keep your opinions just yourself because nobody asked.
Hmm. Very true.
So, um, last question. This section will be at section 3. We'll be at the halfway marker.
All right.
How do you know when a piece is truly done, or do you ever believe it is?
Hmm. There has really only been like a handful of pieces that I've drawn, painted, and then like even posted or not posted where I've been like, yeah, this is done. Um, and it sort of comes back to that level of detail thing I was talking about, but it's also, I think, being able to post something, even if it's not, to your personal standards, is very important. And sort of having that consistency and knowing when something should be done can sometimes be more important than the idea of like, oh, did I like fit everything I wanted to fit into this art piece or whatever. Um, and and yeah, I think especially recognizing what a level of doneness should be, like a rough storyboard or like an Instagram post where you're trying to post daily is a lot different than the level of doneness of like a project that you're supposed to work on all quarter.
There's something that you told me just caught my attention. We used to talk about when you ever believe that your work is done. You know, some people they always find themselves in this giant pit of paranoia,
Mm-hmm.
and that's true. There's nothing wrong with being paranoid. Like you want to make sure this thing is done imperfectly. That's
Mm-hmm.
why I said that phrase, "pit of paranoia." Like we all
Yeah.
find ourselves in it because we want to make sure this thing of is done correctly. Like sometimes when I go to different places and I be like,
Mm-hmm.
"Oh shoot, I don't know about this place." I have my own senses to be like, "I don't know, is this done correctly? Is this place a safe place?" I
Mm-hmm.
listen every time, every day. Sometimes I be paranoid because I want to make sure I'm okay, make sure
Yeah.
this stuff is done. Don't want to take any chances, and it's a good thing. I mean, at least you're being more, cognizant and more aware of what you're
Mm-hmm.
doing. That way, you won't experience any kind of like backlash when the stuff. At least you'll know like the positive and negative outcomes. Of this piece isn't done right. If I'm in a space safe spot,
Yeah.
etc. If you see where I'm coming at with all this.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Um, yeah, that paranoia can be difficult. Sometimes it leads you in the right direction, but other times I feel like it really inhibits your ability to move on to newer things, you know?
Yeah. Pros and cons. There's always
Hmm.
pros and cons. Listen, everything you do, there's always going to be pros and cons.
Hmm.
Just keep those two words in mind.
Hmm.
And then
Very true, yeah.
afterwards, once you brainstorm for a bit, let's come up with a single solution and
Hmm.
see what happens.
Yeah, yeah, very true.
All right, halfway marker now. So section three,
Whee!
the soul, meaning, vulnerability, and perspective. What emotions do you find hardest to animate, and why do you think they challenge you?
Hmm. Hmm. That is interesting. Um, I don't do too much like true like frame by frame really developed animation. Um, but in terms of like physical human expression, really it's hard for me to really get into like true like horror and fear, I would say. Simply because there is that small part of me whenever something is especially like what's the word I'm looking for? I guess maybe like um intense or horrifying where I almost feel a little bit of a judgment from myself being like, oh, this is quote unquote like cringy or this is sort of too dramatic, I guess is the word. But being able to push those expressions or being able to even push what's going on to 11 is sort of what makes animation so special. If it wasn't supposed to be really, really dramatic and exaggerated, then it really wouldn't be animation.
Something I wanted to ask you, if you don't mind me asking.
Uh-huh.
If I can relate this from the previous question, what that teacher was judging about your white face, have you ever tried to maybe animate a story about a girl who's going through the same thing as you did back then? I was just curious.
Hmm. I've never really considered it, but I have had a couple of stories that are, about the weirdo in high school. And I think a lot of people who are storytellers might have stories like that. But having that unique perspective would definitely be fascinating.
Because I know there was some emotions or bad thing would happen to you. Because one thing I have learned from speaking with all of you,
Uh-huh.
sometimes in the art that you do, you guys are telling a story.
Yeah.
You know, you want to put your own personal experiences into whatever kind of art you're doing: animation,
Hmm.
illustration, voice acting, tattooing,
Hmm.
pretty much all in that same perspective. And it
Hmm.
does work because I want to understand, people do want to understand what kind of trauma y'all had to go through back then. And
Yeah.
I know it's kind of horrific and y'all probably don't want to talk about it again. But in some ways, they'll find
Hmm.
ways to explain it in your art without having to explain it fully in person.
Yeah, definitely. And I think putting in those feelings of anxiety or distrust, um, and really channeling those emotions can make for really powerful art.
Yeah, and I think the more people who do that kind of stuff, the more people will respect and understand your story.
Hmm.
And to be honest, like when talking to you guys about how y'all do it, I understand where y'all coming from. So I now understand what they went through and why it happened. That way
Yeah,
I can understand, shoot, I feel like I'm a part of her story now because I had a chance to ask and experience it.
yeah, yeah. That's very true. That's the good thing about people telling these personal stories is you can really get inside their heads and really understand um, what was going on and almost feel like you experienced it personally. You sort of get that empathy.
Yeah, I want to have empathy. That's why, same thing. Like when I go talk to these people at conventions, I want, like I said before, if I could just spare if you can just spare at least 5 to 10 minutes, whatever I have to do first, I will do it. So I can just sit down and have like an honest, genuine conversation with you.
Yeah.
Like, listen, Carmen. Back then in high school, like I said before, I was all about the entertainment. But now that as young adults, we are getting older and wiser. So
Hmm.
it's like I want to know what's going on behind the scenes. I want to know how this is being made. Like, can you
Yeah.
tell me much? Can you tell me much how this all happened for you? How this is made, so I can get an understanding. So
Yeah.
just having those like honest, genuine conversations.
Yeah, it's important. And especially understanding the creative processes that go into making like these huge films or like various animated projects. That's something that is very fascinating to me.
I think I should keep doing that. Maybe, just going around and just telling people, it may not be like, in film or any other kind, but just people in general. Cause I know there's there's
Yeah.
billions of you guys to talk to. And I just want to at least have a few minutes
Hmm.
at least,
Hmm.
even if it's 5 minutes, just
Yeah.
something like
Very true. Yeah.
give me something to work with.
Hmm. Very true. Yeah, having those genuine conversations with people just, I mean, it makes your life feel more lived in, knowing these people, really just, I don't know, it really gives, to me at least, like a sense of like completion and purpose.
It does. Plus, it makes me feel whole.
Hmm.
Have you ever hidden something deeply personal inside a project? Something most people would never notice.
Ooh, I think I have. I think I have. Yeah. There've been, especially whenever I used to do more like traditional painting than digital art, I used to hide so so many things. And even now, I still do paint occasionally, and I love found paper. Found paper, being able to make a collage and then painting on top of it, I find it gives it this really textured effect. And sometimes you can hide little things in the text. For example, one time I made a painting full of late notes, like notes that I got from being perpetually tardy to class. Um, I made a painting for an orthodontist office that was the background was the Wikipedia page for orthodontistry. Um, and being able to hide those secrets and being able to put in these things is really fun. I don't think I have it with me on this desk, but I actually have a textbook that's from the 2000s or so, with these various essays about personal self-reflection and a lot of these like problems with body image and stuff like that. And being able to sort of hide these like reflections in my paintings is very fun.
Okay, okay. S- that seems very interesting. And
Hmm.
shoot, next time I see you, you might have to show me. I don't know.
Yeah,
I
maybe.
don't. I don't know if I can. We'll figure out how to make that happen. But it's nice that you have those certain, projects like, something that's very personal, but you don't want people. Well, okay, well, you do want people. Sometimes maybe you might want people to find out, but
Hmm.
they have to like. It's basically like a very challenging, cryptic puzzle they have to figure out. Basically,
Yeah,
trying to figure out what does this code mean. What
yeah,
does this mean? I can't give up all my secrets on the first date,
uh-huh,
so
yeah.
you gotta figure it out for yourself.
Definitely. And it's yeah, it is about sort of that audience interpretation, but it's also about sort of the the satisfaction, of being able to produce it yourself.
True, true. And she like if someone comes out to me and I want to understand their personal story. Okay, I'll try to figure this out on my own if you give me this picture. It
Hmm.
may take a few days, but I'll get it down.
Yeah.
So, next question: how does being part of the SCAD community influence your sense of identity? Does it empower you, pressure you, or both?
Um, well, yeah, I would say both. Um, but it's very nice being here, of course, because there's that very like focused environment, and you have these like network of peers and mentors or whatever. And it's nice to have those sort of like established academic buildings, studios, libraries, stuff like that, to sort of be able to build your skills and build a portfolio. But sometimes those deadlines can really sneak up on you, and sometimes it's very difficult to present something that is not your best work. And it's I find that it can be especially what's the word I'm looking for? Disheartening. It's whenever you present something and you don't get any critique at all. To me, that's worse than not than whenever it's bad, because if if you don't elicit like any response, then what's really and what was the point? you know? Just a little bit, of course.
Okay. Yeah, sometimes like you want to be like because I know like and some people who go to different like SCAD or any other cause, you want to figure out who they are.
Hmm.
Soul searching, you had to do a lot of searching,
Yeah.
for yourself. You like being a person who likes being creative with makeup, like paints, hair, and just being creative with animation and storytelling. Like
Hmm.
I don't want nobody to take that from you because you developed that yourself.
Yeah.
So that's why I be telling people, whatever you do, as long as you're happy, and I can tell Carmen you're happy with what you're doing,
Yeah.
keep doing it.
Yeah,
Just
that's
keep
very
doing it.
true. Yeah, well, thank you. Well, keep doing what you're doing as well. You're getting so many different perspectives, and you're allowing people to sort of have all these guests.
Yeah, because I did I tried to create a route. I was doing photography at once, but after
Hmm.
a little incident, April, I put that back on a shelf, and I had to think about what else can I do. So I went back to my college playbook, and I realized that I've done 3 documentaries,
Oh, wow, yeah.
and I was like, I'm good at talking to people because I do like going to conventions, making connections. So
Hmm.
this is how this came here. So
Hmm.
this whole podcast, and this Thursday I got a message from Spotify saying that I'm officially a Spotify creator now. They installed the app on my phone.
Congratulations! That's awesome news.
So yeah, like I was like, what's this extra app that's downloaded on my phone? I was like, I thought I already had Spotify. But then I
Hmm.
pushed it, I was like, it was Spotify for creators.
Hmm.
So Spotify creators is having a little bit of an issue right now. I can't upload any episodes. The only thing I can do now is keep putting them on YouTube.
Hmm.
Now, if I do now, I am considering maybe putting them on Apple Podcasts at a later point. I haven't decided for. I only decide on YouTube and Spotify.
Hmm.
But let's see how far I get first by the end of the year because so far I think I'm almost at 30 episodes.
Oh, wow, yeah,
So
yeah,
we'll
yeah,
we'll see what happens. But yeah, it's really nice because people are saying what I'm doing now is basically independent journalism.
yeah.
Also, I didn't think of it that way. You know,
Hmm.
my my friends would tell me, well, you better start thinking that way because that's what you're
Yeah,
doing. You're vlogging stuff, everything.
yeah,
Yeah,
definitely. I think
pretty
so.
much.
I think that that's a pretty succinct way to put it is independent journalism.
No, because thing is, I'm also actually thinking about starting a Substack.
Hmm.
So I think you know about Substack, kind of, sort of. If you don't, it's okay. But yeah, I'm thinking about starting a Substack because that's what people are using these days to put their stories on there. So I was
Hmm.
like, I'll look into it first. I might start doing it in January of 2026 starts. I might
Hmm.
start doing Substack in 2026. But
Hmm.
we'll see how far I get. But I think so far, I think I'm doing a good job. I've been getting some DMs from voice actors and everyone else I interview saying, "Yeah, nice talk to you. These were very powerful questions."
Yeah, yeah. You've been it's yeah. An interview is very dependent on the interviewer. And yeah, I can't imagine if this was like, how has school been? What do you
No,
feel like right now? Like those
If I
sort of
just came out with,
basic.
it wouldn't be a actual nice conversation and in depth because I'm just
Yeah,
busy talking about this ordinary stuff today.
yeah,
I want to pick your brains.
yeah. That's nice.
Um, when you look back at your earlier art, do you see growth, nostalgia, or ghosts of who you used to be?
Oh, wow. That's a good one. I do have to let in my cat real quick. I can hear them calling at the door. One
If you want to,
second.
you trying to get your cat.
Yeah,
You
one
can
sec.
bring him on if you want to. I mean, I have like lots of cat people.
Sure, yeah, I'll be right back.
Go ahead.
Shadow, this is my roommate's cat.
Who's that?
This is Shadow. He's my roommate's cat.
Oh,
Yeah.
is it a he or she?
He.
Oh, it's a he. Oh,
Hmm.
like Shadow the Hedgehog.
Yeah, like Shadow the Hedgehog. But to get back on old art, he if you hear meowing, he's having fun. Don't worry.
It's fine.
Uh, I definitely do see improvement whenever it comes to my certainty of line and understanding certain anatomy decisions. Um, and specifically, I the like scratchiness and the way I used to go over things so many times. And just the way I used to not like erase as much. I know this sounds what's the word I'm looking for? Counterproductive whenever I have that whole other sketchbook where I'm not trying to erase. But I just used to really not allow things to be like complete, I guess is the word I'm looking for. Um, and I really just didn't finish things in a way that I think was very complete. And really, finishing finishing things, not putting hands behind the back or covering an eye with hair is very much a way to improve.
Sweet. And the more art you do, the more like, because when you first started out doing art, you were trying to grow from a place of a beginning and
Yeah.
see how far you progress throughout your life. Sometimes you'll see nostalgia, you'll see ghost of the past, but I
Hmm.
think it's all part of what you're doing.
Uh-huh. Very much, yeah. It's crazy looking through old sketchbooks. I remember exactly where I was whenever I drew certain things, and I remember like exactly who I was hanging out with or what I was doing, and it's you definitely get those memories.
And listen, sometimes the past can teach us things. Something I've learned, like
Definitely,
if I made a past mistake, maybe I can apply it to what I'm doing now. Like I say,
definitely.
yes, I know what I'm doing. Okay,
Uh-huh.
get that sun clear because I've done this before.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
I'm sorry, this ain't part of the question, but deep pack mode, I like that guy.
Yeah, I
So
love Depeche Mode. I think I have out in the corner. Oh wait, no, you might be able to see it actually. My poster of Depeche Mode is right up there. And then I've
I
got
see
a
it.
little record collection.
Hey, you're a collector like me. I like collecting things. I got so many
Hmm.
posters, stuff, pop figures, because listen, when I talk to someone first, I tell them, you know how many Batmobiles I have in my room right now?
Hmm. How many?
Good see. So I think I have 8 of them. That's a lot of.
Wow. Yeah. And
Hey, it's an
yeah,
amazing car.
it's a cool car. And every single time I'm out and I see a Depeche Mode shirt, I'm like, I don't have this album on a shirt. I don't have the Violator album in red. I don't have like it at the specific angle. It's the completionist in me wants all of the variation.
I told you, and listen, I got 2 big size My Hero pops coming because show's about to end soon. I was like, I might as well get my hands on as many My Hero stuff as I can.
Yeah, very
So they won't
true.
be here until November, along with the Batman Arkham City pop.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to November.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, keep doing that stuff. Look back in your old sketchbook, look back in your own playbooks, and you'll be able to keep doing amazing stuff.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely a way to get the creative juices flowing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now, what's the hardest truth you've learned about yourself through animation?
Um, huh. I think sorry, one more time. Yeah, once out of my room. Hard truth that I had to learn regarding animation is not every, story idea you have, not every like characters you've had since you were little are going to exist in a realm where a group of people can work on them and uh, see them come to life as a show or a comic or a movie or something like that. And I think um, keeping those like personal stories that you have, bringing them out into the world is nice. And I think maybe having that happen eventually is a good idea, but also, um, you know, um, sometimes those like true labors of love take time, and focusing on speed and collaboration is equally important. You're muted. You were muted for a second.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, sorry, this thing's been messing with me. But yeah, I caught everything that you said. It's
Great.
really
Yeah.
it's really nice that you get to be able to, understand like, oh man, this is like the most sometimes you're your own worst enemy, and it's
Yeah.
like, how do I overcome my own worst enemy?
Very true. Yeah. Um, allowing for you to get out of that space of doubt is good.
Yeah. But yeah, and listen, I think you're gonna have more hard truths coming your way, but you'll know what to do when the time comes.
hmm Definitely.
All right. Well, we're at the finale.
Oh
So
wow. Yeah.
so section 4 is the vision, legacy, future, and the bigger picture.
Hmm.
So
Okay. Interesting. Yeah. Very, very conclusive.
yeah. When people talk about the next wave of animators, what do you want your name to stand for?
Um, um, I would love for my name to stand for experimentation, I think, and creativity. And having that sort of space to, even if it doesn't end up being particularly amazing or resonate with the largest audience of people, to know that it sort of has its own personal touch and style is definitely something that I prioritize. And um, uniqueness too, incorporating certain art style elements to sort of let it be differentiated from the crowd. I hope that can help, you know, sort of make it my personal touch.
Yeah, everything that you do, if you come up with it, you want to make sure it stands for something. Like, you want to make sure everything is going to be fine. Make sure, hey, this is how I tell my stories. I hope you guys can understand where I'm coming from, because listen, you're going to have lots of people these next few years who are going to be looking back at all the work you've done, and they want to
hmm
know what you stand for and how you did all this magic.
hmm Yeah, that's true. That's fun to think about as like the future historians or whatever.
And the fun thing about you, Carmen, is you're still coming up with ideas even as we're speaking right now.
hmm
So
Very
I don't
true.
know what it
Yeah.
is yet. I don't. I want to be surprised when it happens.
Yeah. I'm
So,
glad. Yeah.
um, what stories do you think need to be told in animation that aren't getting enough light?
Hmm. Huh. Um, I think incorporating traditional painting in painting is definitely something that needs to be explored more, just simply in terms of technique. Um, but in terms of like story beats or writing, I mean, we've all seen those, or I hope at least we've all seen those things where it's like, this isn't for kids, and then it's like the most like toned down like violence or like a single drop of blood. And I think allowing for things to not be defined by their potential audience is sort of important. Sort of I'm very passionate about American animation being seen less as simply like for kids to enjoy is very important, and I really hope in my lifetime I see that happen more.
That sounds exciting because I know kids aren't getting exposed to a lot of things these days, but we want to
hmm
be able to give them the freedom to do so. Like, hey, they can see this. We have their consent to do so without any restrictions. Because I know there's a lot of adult cartoons that they shouldn't be watching.
Yeah, very
But
true.
I think the more we explore how we can make this enjoyable for them, they'll be
hmm
able to like really like the work that we put out.
Very true. I look forward to the day where like mature or like for adults doesn't mean like lowbrow or like inappropriate, of course,
Oh
not
yes.
simply just for that.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely. Hold that time comes to. We just need to figure out how we're going to get there first.
Very true.
Let's see. If you had unlimited resources and a small loyal team, what world or story would you build first?
That is like the dream. Huh. I would love. I've had this story forever about this group of student journalists in this high school that's all different marine creatures trying to figure out this huge mystery that this bully character was initially blamed for. But they believe that they're framed. I would love to be able to bring back those characters that I created such a long time ago and see them in a sort of a show that is maybe like traditionally painted and then done through stop motion or done through a sort of like 2D 3D hybrid that is like very very painterly. That would be great. And then if not that, there's just so many so many different story and comic ideas I'd love to play around with.
Wow. Actually, you're already excited. But even before I asked that question, I was like, "Oh, she already excited. She ready, ready." But yeah, but looks like you like know what to do when you have a loyal team ready to get started on this masterpiece. Talking
Hmm.
about these certain issues. Hey, this is how I want the story played out. Let's
Hmm.
brainstorm and see how we get from point A to point B.
Hmm. Yeah,
So
it's definitely important to have those sort of conversations and have like a team that you very much trust and that you can say things to and not seem too judged.
that and just know the strengths and weaknesses of your team as well.
Yeah, that's so.
So number 19, how do you define success? Is it recognition, impact, freedom, or something entirely different?
Hmm. I think, I mean, independence kind of gets to the root of it a little bit. But of course success would be nice to have that sort of recognition. We all sort of imagine that we're quote unquote like famous eventually for the things that we do. And it would be nice to be able to, financially support myself on these sort of creative projects and ideas. Um, but really just feeling that sort of like this is a like the feeling of accomplishment. That is kind of important as well. I feel like there's a lot of possibly successful people that go home and they don't feel successful at all. So having that sort of like connection to what you're doing and knowing that you're doing all you can is also important.
Yeah. You want to make sure, I've done everything I had to do and I double checked. Sometimes that level of independence makes you feel like I've been successful. I did this all by myself without any help. And
Hmm.
listen, it's okay to still have help sometimes. Like I still ask my folks for help too. After, I know that, since I'm now 25, I have to
Hmm.
start really look at things and be like, hey, I got to do this on my own. My folks can't help me with everything.
Yeah.
So, because now I'm learning to save money. I'm learning to prepare and research these different places I want to go because it's a lot for me to do. And then
Hmm.
I got to figure out how am I going to do all this? How can I make this happen? Plan it
Yeah.
out. Talk to some people who know certain things about it, and we'll
Hmm.
just go straight from there. Most likely, all the successes you've done because you've done everything that you've done yourself. You've done the research and understand the steps to get there.
Hmm. Yeah. Um, Definitely. And of course, in terms of like a bigger creative project, like a film or a comic or whatever, I don't think those successes are independent at all. I think those things are just such a such a place for a large variety of people to sort of get together and collaborate and the idea that something as big as that could be like an island is not. I think that's like incongruous in my mind.
Sure. I understand, Carmen. it's not always sunshine and rainbows,
Hmm.
but I do know that the good outweighs the bad.
Hmm.
All right, last question. When it's all said and done, what do you hope the world remembers about the way you saw things?
Wow. Wow. Huh. I hope I hope huh, huh. You're really getting down to the root here. You're really digging into my soul.
I mean, I come with receipts now.
Yeah, I hope through my art that people know that I feel deeply, and I know, or I've experienced things about the world that have left me with doubt, but it's about persistence and knowing that the people around you are very important to your well-being, and allowing yourself to be happy and to take advantage of opportunities as they come, and knowing that what you're working towards is still important, and just I don't know, all of these things, um, knowing that there's a sort of emotional complexity to everyone and everything. I hope that people can sort of glean that from whatever I end up making in the future.
Wow, Carmen, that was pretty beautiful. That was amazing. That was amazing. That was a
Thank
beautiful
you.
answer. I think when people when you're because sometimes we just we all have to age at some point. Like I can't do this forever. We just got to do what we can for now. But when people recognize your work, they're going to be like, she really put her heart and soul into all this storytelling. She want people to understand her perspective and how she
Mhm.
got to where she was today.
Mhm. Oh, thank you. Yeah. That's what I hope for, and that's what I'm working towards.
Yeah. Oh, I guess that kind of wraps up everything. So, but yeah,
Yeah.
this is Carmen.
Wow.
Make sure you go check out some of her work. Please go check out where she's come out with new ideas.
Hmm.
So, yeah,
Yeah.
please go check her out. She's very sweet.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me on. Listen,
Sure.
whoever is listening to this, listen to all the other episodes of of this podcast. You'll meet so many cool people.
Thank you, Carmen.